What's going on, guys? Your boy Amazing. We're back with another video, and in today's video, guys, me going over the Labyrinth Season 6 guide, and we're going to be explaining everything that you guys need to know that's going to be important for actually clearing throughout the brand new Labyrinth. Now, this brand new Labyrinth, guys, is going to be a lot easier than the past Labyrinths we've had because of that, those little notes on the screen right there. But I'm going to be pretty much explaining what you guys want to be doing throughout this Labyrinth and how you want to go about it. So obviously, first things first, pick that Matrona right there. I'm going to explain why Matrona is super useful, but I want to kind of talk about the little nodes. So pretty much in this brand new Season 6 Labyrinth, they're going to be adding these little like nodes where you can either get attack, defense, or HP related stats, and it's not just the base stats, it's also the related stats as well, which is why it's such a very broken ability that you can get throughout the Labyrinth. So yeah, the reasoning for Matrona right now, guys, is because Matrona is the best option you had there. She has a taunt skill that lasts up to 3 turns. She has a buff removal skill, which will actually come into play when we get to the first boss. And then she also does have healing through her passive, where when she's lower on HP, she's actually going to heal the allies by a fairly substantial amount. So yeah, that's pretty much the reasoning for why we started the way we did, guys. And what we're going to do throughout this guide is that whenever there's like an important bit that I need to kind of explain something, I will either, pause that part of the video, or, I'll come back and I'll kind of explain, what you really need to be doing on that part of the video right there. So yeah, I just wanted to preface that right there. But yeah, moving into this next part right here, we'll go till we get the next character. Since we're already here, we'll kind of talk about it, but we get the Awakening Stars. And then we do get the character pick option, and the character that I actually went for on this character pick was actually going to be Easton. Now, Easton was the best of those character options. You always want to go for the most like recent character most of the time. There are some situations where you might not want to do that, but obviously going for the most recent character or the most relevant character of the batch is going to be the way to go. And so, Easton right there was the most recent one, and so I decided to pick her up. But yeah, we'll come back, guys, when we get to something very important. Right now, it's kind of just, clearing through the stages, and you guys get the gist of this. It's just mainly clearing through, and yeah, I mean, you guys kind of get the idea. So what I'll do is I'll have it play, and I'll have the music up a little bit, and then we'll come back when I do need to explain some more important stuff. So yeah, there you go, guys, and let's talk about the next part when we get to it. Alright guys, so we come back here to where we do get another passive, and this passive right here is going to be a strength attribute allies HP 30%, which is going to be the most beneficial one. And I did want to go to this point in the video because I want to explain, you know, my reasoning for the characters that I pick. So right here we see that we get Nanashi. Nanashi backline obviously is really strong. We also did have the you know, Meliodas as well. So the, you know, both those characters do work the same way, where it's 2 or less cards and then you do gain a buff. So I was like, okay, the synergy is kind of working out. And then as you guys can see, this is going to be the next thing. So I'm gonna actually pause the video here and we'll kind of explain what that is. But pretty much, as you guys can see, so these Guardian Stones, whenever you actually get them, it's going to give you a increase in the basic stat, and then it's also going to give you an increase in a substat. Now, with the defense right here, when I actually do level this up, it's actually going to give me 150 defense, and then resistance 40%, which is really strong, right? Getting 40% resistance for your entire team is a very big bonus, and all the buffs you get throughout the Labyrinth, guys, are going to be exactly like this. It's going to be like 2000 HP, and then you get like 40% recovery rate, or it'll be like, you know, 150 attack or like 400 attack, and then you do gain like, I don't know, like crit chance, right? 20% crit chance. So you're gonna get buffs like that throughout the Labyrinth, and yeah, I mean, that's kind of what you guys can expect. So let's continue the video here, and yeah, and then what I do actually as well, since I have enough points, I do check the character options, and I'm like, okay, nothing too crazy. I thought that was SR list at first, but it wasn't. It's the SSR one, so I was like, okay, never mind. And then we do go back. We have to make sure if we have like a good passive or anything, but I was like, okay, let's just go for Awakening Stars, and then we'll heal up the team as well. So when we go into the fight here with the boss, we should do pretty well. So yeah, and then since we're at the boss already, I might as well explain why, or like how Chandler works. So when we actually go in, Chandler is going to be a green attribute boss, and you want to bring buff removal to this fight, and it's going to be very important. So we're hopping in here, and this is what we're going to want to do. So as you guys can see, we hop in. It's going to be the Demon Chandler, and the way Chandler works is that whenever he is higher than 60% HP, if I'm not mistaken, it's like 60-65% or something like that, he does gain an immortality buff. Now you guys will see here when I do damage to him, I'm not actually able to put him less than the 60%, and he's going to get that buff, and then that's where you guys will want the buff removal, right? So if you're not able to deal a ton of damage turn 1, then you definitely want to have a character with buff removal, which is why we bring Matrona, right? So right there we do the attack, and then as you guys will see, he does gain the immortality buff. And the reason why buff removal is so important in this Labyrinth, guys, is not just because, you know, I'm going to be removing Chandler's buff here. It's actually because you do gain a buff. So whenever you do a buff removal, which you guys will see as I do it with my Matrona, whenever you do a buff removal, you actually do gain a damage dealt buff to your entire team. So you guys will see here when we do the buff removal, boom, we get damage dealt increase for the entire team, and there is no turn limit to the damage dealt increase. So the moment you proc it, you just get it, and as long as you're not getting like buff removed or anything like that, you'll just have it for the rest of the fight pretty much, which is very cool. So yeah, from here, obviously Chandler does have buff removal himself though, so he can remove those damage dealt buffs. So just kind of watch out for that. I mean, he can do that if he does get it. So right there, he obviously removed it from Matrona. But yeah, like just having that is going to be pretty strong. And then right here, I was like, okay, look, we got to do some good damage right here. We also had delete from Nanashi, which was really clutch because the boss did get the ultimate right there. So we do the debuff, which is a seal. Unfortunately, it's a prevent gauge fill seal, so it's not like that important. But I guess it did matter actually after removing his gauge though, because now he actually can't gain, right? It's actually pretty good that we did that. So yeah, and then he goes to the AoE. Gonna go for the AoE again. Yeah, and he's doing just a ton of damage right here, guys, so it's just, you know, a lot, right? Right here I was like, okay, let's try and life steal up Nanashi though, because we have a despair card, so if we crit with it, we're actually gonna heal by a lot, right? So then I was like, okay, and then we'll just follow up with a Eastern ultimate, and from this range, guys, we are actually able to get the kill on the Chandler, and we're gonna move on to the next floor of the Labyrinth. So that was actually not too bad of a fight. You just want to kind of go about the fight, you know, making sure that you keep buff removing him if he's above 60%, making sure that you're able to lower him at least past the second turn, because if you don't top deck another buff removal, you might get cooked, right? So that's pretty much that. But yeah, guys, I mean, unless there's anything important upcoming here, I think we'll kind of, yeah, I guess we'll come back to when we get the next important thing to happen. But for now, since, you know, it's just, you know, going through, I'll just let the video play, and then we'll come back when we get to another important character pick, or like a box, you know, exchange shop, whatever the case. So yeah, guys, we'll come back. Alright guys, so we are moving into getting the passive here. So the enemy attack decrease, so we actually do pick up. We do also get another character option here, but I decide, you know, seeing these characters right here, I was like, okay, there's nothing really too important here, right? No character here that I actually wanted to switch out, so I was like, okay, we just keep what we got. Let's go to the right. You know, going to the left right there did give us the option to get the character option, and that was the good thing right there. And so right here, I'm like, okay, we do get another HP node, but I wanted to see exactly like what the passes were looking like. I also saw the female one. I had to check if I had female characters. I didn't. And then yeah, I was like, okay, we might as well you know, yeah, I saw Derriere there, but I don't think I picked her up. I think I went for the Awakening Star, and then I also leveled up the actual HP node, if I'm not mistaken, as well. Yeah, so we actually go for the HP node, and as you guys can see right there, we get 30% recovery rate, I think that was, right? Or regeneration rate, which is pretty big. So, you know, getting that increase right there. But you guys can see we are 65k CC. We are getting LTC'd by this Kusak. This Kusak, by the way, is a very, very difficult fight. The main you know, way he works is that he actually gets defense related lowered when he gets maximum ultimate move gauge. So the moment he gets that, and every time you reproc it as well, that does count. So like Nanashi was helping me a ton here, you know, with the part that, you know, it takes gauge. You guys will see here, he does a single target. It does a good amount of damage though, man. If you guys don't have those, like, you know, damage reduction passes, like the Kusak will actually just cook you right here. But luckily we lived, and Matrona's just gonna full heal because we had that situation, right? And then right here, I was like, okay, we actually have delete with Nanashi, so we can actually take his gauge, and then I can stance up here with Matrona. So that was actually really clutch for us. But you guys saw that he got a defense related lower, and so that we're able to do more damage against him. But, you know, this fight starts to become crazy the moment he starts to ramp up. I think the way Kusak might work is that every time he uses his skill, I think he just hits a lot harder. And that's also one of the buffs for you guys as well. Whenever you guys are clearing throughout the Labyrinth, you actually do gain a buff as well, where whenever you're going throughout the fight, the more of the same card you use, the more damage that card will do, pretty much. I think that's one of the like base passes in the Labyrinth right now. So when you guys are actually doing it, using the same cards will just make, you know, them do more damage. But yeah, Matrona gets one shot right there by the Kusak ultimate. Nothing I can really do about that. And you guys can see as well that he also deletes cards, and he just cooks Nanashi instantly. So I was like, oh no, this is not good. And then I was like, okay, I have to live here with Shin. We do, luckily, which is very, very clutch. Meliodas comes out, and I was kind of thinking, like, how do I go about this part, man? This is a little dangerous, right? I don't want to rank up the Meliodas. I don't think he's going to do too much damage, so I was like, okay, let's let that merge, and then maybe I can get the ultimate with Shin, and we actually did get very, very lucky here, which you guys will see, because the Meliodas just does no damage. We haven't, like, you know, done any skills with him, so he's going to do, like, nothing, and then we do the Shin AoE right there, which is not going to do too much as well, since we lost a lot of our team. But we go for the AoE right there, not a lot of damage either. But we do have the ultimate right here, guys. And right because of getting the ultimate and with the defensive lower happening on the boss right there, and with Meliodas tanking like a champ right here, yo. Meliodas tanking like a champ, drawing all the damage away. Was very clutch. And then the ultimate did not get deleted by the boss. We got very, very lucky here, man. So obviously this really depends on your RNG. Some of the fights are going to be like simple. Some of them are going to be RNG. But if you're able to beat the Kusak, you can move into the next phase regardless. And I think you'll do fairly well. Right there, we just, bro, I don't know what happened. The Kusak was cooking our entire team, but we didn't give up instantly though. We just keep going. Right, we're not going to instantly give up just because we lose our entire team. You might as well keep going just in case you get like revives and then you get character picks, because, you know, Labyrinth, that's just the way Labyrinth goes. You know, sometimes you do get rolled like that, but you still are able to go about it fairly well. So yeah, guys, I'll let the video play again until we get to, like, I guess the next boss, because I think nothing too important really happens like in between this part until we get to the boss, I think. So yeah, I mean, I'll let you guys enjoy this part, and then we'll come back when we get to the boss right here. Right here, by the way, I was deciding who I should revive, and I decided on the Nashi. I don't know if that was the good play, but it did work out in the end, so you guys will see. But yeah, that's pretty much that, guys. We'll come back to the end of the video there. Alright guys, so I did forget one more important thing here with this next character pick. Actually, this was very important because I did get Brunhild, as you guys can see. Brunhild was a very, very important character pick because I needed her for damage. I really had no one on my team that could really dish out a ton of damage, and getting Brunhild was big for my team because it made it so that I had a DPS for when we got to the Demon King melee at the very end, right? So I just wanted to, you know, show that. And then when we go to acquire a character, I see that I don't have any good viable options right there. Goddess List is nice because she gives attack related up, but we needed a buff removal character. The only character that I could have replaced Matrona with there would have been like a Scotty. If I got a Scotty there, I think that would have been a lot better. But yeah, right here I had to check to see what my options were, and I saw there was a character pick on the top left, and I was like, okay, maybe we could get that, but going about it, I didn't know exactly what I was going to do, but I decided I would just go with the revive, since I could just freely revive Matrona there for only 5, right? It wasn't a lot, and so because I was able to do that, we could actually get the Awakening Stars as well, and so now we're at SA2, which is pretty decent, you know, fairly good. But yeah, okay, that was pretty much that, guys. Now the rest of it, you guys will kind of see how we go throughout the fight. When we get to the final boss, we'll kind of talk about it, so we'll come back when we get to that. Alright guys, so we're at the next character pick here, and we do get the option of tier. I decided to not actually go with that because I needed to keep a buff removal character, and I didn't really know who I could have swapped out. Honestly, I probably could have swapped out Shin right there. Maybe holding on to Shin might have been a detriment, and I definitely could have took Shin, but I thought, you know, keeping the team the way it was would have been fine. We just kept with what we got. I definitely could have took tier right there though, but I mean, I guess it was okay regardless. We still did beat it, as you guys will, you know, see here, because it is this part of the video. But yeah, so this final boss right here, the way he works is that he actually gains a ton of buffs. This Demon King Meliodas, he is pretty much Assault Mode Meliodas the way he works, but on steroids. This man will get a ton of all stats buffs and a ton of damage dealt buffs, as you guys can see right there. So you definitely want to have buff removal, and that's why having Matrona here is going to be great. You know, having the buff removal there just to remove the buffs and just dish out a ton more damage is going to be very, very important. And he does also have a Tarmiel link as well, but it's not gonna like block affect you if you double attack. He's just gonna heal 50% of the damage he takes pretty much, or like I think it's not 50, it's like 30%. So yeah, he goes to the single target. It's not gonna do a ton of damage. We got a lot of damage reduction buffs on my team here throughout the fight, and then he does gain attack related ups as well. And as you guys see right here, we do not have a buff removal, so this is very, very scary, right? Going into this turn, if you don't top deck a buff removal, it can be very, very dangerous. So right here, I was like, okay, let's definitely rank up. Let's see how much damage we can actually dish out with Brunhild here. He has max gauge. We are type disadvantage though, but I was getting a rank up right there for Brunhild, so she could do a rank 3 detonate. So we go for the detonate, and it actually does a good chunk of damage. We didn't crit the final hit right there, and if we did, we would have did a lot more damage. And he just starts to heal up, but we did top deck the buff removal, which is very, very, very important. If we died right here with Matrona, we would have got screwed. And also the Nanashi backline was actually clutching for us right there, guys. You guys saw it was taking his gauge as well, which is pretty important. So yeah, and then right here we do go for the double Brunhild after the buff removal. So we go for the buff removal. It does a good chunk of damage right there. We follow up with the detonate card with Brunhild, and then we have the double crit right here with the Brunhild to actually finish it off with the power strike. So we go for it, and boom, we actually do get the kill right there on the Meliodas. So very, very you know, the fight, if you don't get buff removal cards, can definitely be annoying, but if you have like 2 buff removal characters, could be a lot easier. So yeah, I mean, not too crazy of a final boss, guys. Hopefully you guys are able to clear through it, and that is pretty much the regular Labyrinth, guys. One other thing though I want to mention will be the depths. So you know, it's gonna go into the depths right now. I have the video set to just play into the depths, so we'll kind of talk about it. But pretty much the depths, if you guys have a team that just does not clear fast, which my team was a very, very slow team. It is able to clear, but it's not a fast team. So like when you guys will see when I go into it, I put the video on ×5 here, so you guys will see like what it looks like. But this team just takes forever, man. It really does. It just takes like when you go through the fight, look how many turns it's gonna take for me to actually kill this guy, right? Because we just do no damage, man. And yeah, that's mainly the reason why I decided, you know, I'll put this in the video just to kind of show you guys that, you know, if you get a really bad team that you want to eventually switch it out and maybe do another full run of Labyrinth, it's really up to you though. You know, you don't have to, but if it, you know, if you want to get like a better experience, at least farming the depths, then, you know, making a new team is definitely going to be very important. So yeah, you guys can see just, you know, this guy is just tanking like crazy, man. So yeah, just to kind of give you guys a gist of what it looks like, that's how long it took, and that was on ×5 speed, so that probably took me like 5 minutes right there, right? That fight alone probably took me 5 minutes. So yeah, a lot of these fights are just gonna take a little bit too long, so I just kind of wanted to preface that. And then I'll skip throughout the clip here as well to like the very end where I do lose, because I actually do not beat this fight. I lose on the Berserk melee. So yeah, when we get to the Berserk melee here, we do kind of get cooked. You know, I wasn't taking a lot of damage there, but we start to take a ton, and then he just kind of, you know, just destroys us right here. He just takes out Matrona and everything. So yeah, man, that's pretty much the depths right there, guys. Now let's kind of talk about the exchange shop here, and we'll talk about you know, what you want to go about with doing that. So there is the depths right there where I kind of get cooked, and let's talk about the exchange shop there. Alright guys, so this is what the exchange shop looks like and how you want to go about it in the underground labyrinth. So it's going to be the same thing as the other labyrinths, guys. You want to get the full awakening token, and you want to get the anvils here as going to be the first thing you get. And then you get all 3 of these things in the comment shop right here. And then you're going to unlock the elite shop right here. Now the main new things is going to be the Bond outfit, and then you do also get 20 LR coins. The Meliodas outfit is returning, so if you don't have it already, definitely pick that up as well. And then you are going to be able to get 10 gems, and then also you are either a dupe, or you're gonna get the fresh coin or a fresh card for that dragon right there. So yeah, you know, I mean, the exchange shop is actually a lot better this time, because what they did is that they gave this material out, this material right here, the labyrinth points, throughout the actual regular labyrinth. You guys will have noticed, like, by the time you're at the underground labyrinth in the depths, you will already have some of these mats, so that's really, really good from the devs. I actually do like that change a lot. But yeah, it's gonna be pretty self-explanatory, guys. Clear out all of this stuff, get the Bond outfit, get the Melee outfit, get the LR coins, and then once you're done that, you can start exchanging for the labyrinth boxes here if you guys do care for the rewards in this, because you do have a 3% chance at SSR pendants, and then a good amount of chance at getting, like, you know, hero enhanced pots, which, I mean, the 6-star ones are pretty good, you know, so it's actually not that bad. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much it for the video though, man. I hope you guys enjoyed. That is pretty much the labyrinth as a whole after the season 6 update for it. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Do you guys think this labyrinth was easy or hard? I thought it was fairly easy, man. You know, I think the especially because of these buffs right here too, right? Obviously getting these buffs are going to be super big, but I think the overall labyrinth itself was not too bad, and I thought you know, you guys will probably do pretty well going through it too. So yeah, that's pretty much it, and I'm gonna see you guys in the next video, man. Peace out and have a great rest of your day, guys.